Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. And before we get to our guest today, we have a big shout out for Living Sisu. Living Sisu is a platform and app that wants to give you all the tools to have success in your sport. Their main objective is to activate your lifestyle. So it's for active people. Enjoy discounts at companies like BioSteel, 30% off, Body Logics, the Goalie Guild, all his books are discounted. Roan, Lululemon for men, 20% off, online stretching programs with Eccentrics, 1 full month free. They got super silent massage guns, 20% off those. And it's a great quality. It's way less expensive than a Theragun, and it's great quality. So there's so many more discounts that you guys will need to just become a member to see. So they want to provide you with anything you need for success. So come join the community. I'm a part of it. A bunch of other athletes are a part of it. So it's free to join. It takes 20 seconds to get exclusive offers to your sport, and it's definitely worth it. So do us a huge favor and go sign up for Living Sisu's membership. It's free, takes 20 seconds. So go do it, and we'll see you there. Living Sisu is a great company. We know one of the co-founders, Zach Fricali. He's a great guy. He's the co-founder. He does a lot of live streams on Instagram at Living Sisu, with a bunch of elite athletes, and you learn a lot from like the athletes' determination, their resiliency, everything to what made them become successful. So it's been a great experience so far. So go on. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So go sign up. Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today we have a very special guest. We have my good friend Stefan Cetenovic, plays over at Loyola University Chicago. Played the past few seasons there. So I'm happy to have you on, dude. And it's gonna be a great episode. So Stefan, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you definitely for having me on. I know it's been a while, but it's going to have some fun today.
Yeah, I know this was in the books for a while now, but we finally found some time, finally got together, and like we're able to do this. So it's gonna be fun, and I'm happy to have you on.
Oh, no, I think it was the best part. I think it was waiting was probably better to even get like you and me to get more relationship on in the last couple of months was probably even better to have it a couple more weeks later than we wanted to. But I guess all good things come together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So starting off, can you give our viewers a little like background information on you, like history of like your playing career so far, and like
Yeah,
how you
yeah.
started as a goalie?
Yeah. I mean, real story, of course. At the age of 10, I started playing. I played a little bit. I played some street. I played a little bit of skating then, and I focused more on baseball at the age to about, I would say about eighth grade. I played a little bit of travel, and then I picked up golf hard in about, let's say, seventh grade as well to about high school. And I knew at the end of high school, going into freshman year of college, which is kind of odd, starting at the age of 18 playing hockey, especially goalie, kind of a little bit crazy, which I know. But yeah, I started at the age of 18. I started working at Rocky where we skate a lot together. And it was kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I never really had the money. And then I was like, all right, I had the savings. And I said, let's get to it. We only have one life. And I was like, let's see if we can make it to
You only
collegiate,
live
of
once.
course. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess I got to the collegiate level. So I mean, it's the first chapter of the long book. I'm hoping. But yeah, it was a lot of work there. I got to work with a lot of coaches that met Tony. I got to work with Anthony Petrak. He's Green Bay Gamblers USHL goaltending. Tony Martino. He's the Toronto Maple Leafs goaltending scout. Phil Oscar, Detroit Red Wings goalie scout. So many coaches that took their time to work with me that I'm beyond thankful for that. They worked in development, especially skating, and a lot of whole different. My game has revolved around them. And yeah, I mean, I think I've still been working for them. I've been with them for about last two plus years. First year I started, I remember 2+ years. I started with Tony in April of 18. So yeah, over 2+ years we've been together, and I think, and of course camps and multiple stuff like that. But it's been a hell of a journey so far.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not the thing you would usually hear where like you start at like 18, especially as a goaltender, and like
Yeah.
you're already playing collegiate level hockey. So like it's
Yeah.
weird.
It's definitely, when people hear that, they either think I'm lying or it's just like a joke, and I'm like, it's really not. But I think it was also just like I think determination. And so you all do a determination, do a little bit of luck, you do how many things? Of course, the work ethic. You have to have a solid team around you to get you there because you're brand new into the game. I mean, I remember for the first couple times I would try. I didn't even know what a blocker was. I was using my glove and like reaching overhand, and it was funny. Yeah, it was funny how I was snagging. It was funny starting off there and then like doing basic stuff, like basic, even going backwards and like stuff like that. And it was just, it's kind of see like how you see all the progress through like all the first year, the second year, you see like your game kind of develop, and then you go like kind of more in the collegiate level. Like, all right, first season under the belt, a little rusty, but of course you dig into deep that later, and then you do like camps now, and then you do like more lessons and development now, and it's kind of you can see like, okay, this worked out, this is what I need to work on, this is like some different mindset, but and definitely even you and me know about Mike. I mean, he's been helping both of us a lot too, so we definitely have a solid group around us that definitely can allow us to get to semi-pro and just the bare minimum and hopefully go up from there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely fun. Like, especially when I started, like I'd do like the reach over with the glove and everyone would be like, buddy, you have a blocker for a reason.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
but like
yeah.
I still I still
I was
find
exactly, yeah,
sometimes that I'd go like that just for the
yeah.
heck of it. But like
There was I haven't done many windmill saves to be honest. There's a couple times. I mean, I know you do a lot more than me because that's stuff with style your play. But me,
I
I
make it
haven't.
flashy.
Yeah. For me, I think for me, I was more just like I rather just want to make the save than like think about that. But of course, positioning over time. I mean, it definitely took me a while, of course, in my changes of development now is a lot of more when you start with the foundation, and I've been working on that. I think just recently I started to understand and kind of go advance the foundation level and kind of start getting that collegiate level mindset of like you get the basic foundation, but now you have to understand like, where the blade is looking at you, who's on the other side, where's the defense, and then you start thinking about things, taking short side, how is the player left-handed, right-handed, and of course you don't want to dig too much into that during a game, and you're going to be crazy, and of course you want to keep it simple as possible. For me, it's always I just repeat chest to have the puck linear with your chest, but I think it was definitely the one thing with that, of course, with the chest thing, and especially skating. I know we've worked together, and I think our skating is definitely something that we've been working a lot hard on just to understand how to get there quicker and move better. But yeah, I mean that's something you can always work on. Like you see the guys like Cody and other guys are just always working on like Mike always working on skating, so you always know if the pros are doing it, you definitely should be doing twice what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely more than just stopping a puck. You have all the technical stuff to get down, and then all the like the edge work, the skating, like that's super important. Like I did not realize how important that was until like we started training and like my further into the goaltending career I go. Like skating definitely does help and like helps you get there quick, and like you need to be quick, especially with the game growing and how fast the game's getting right now.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely start off the one time I think my welcome to college hockey, and I think was when I got like one practice I was with a D1 guy at I think BC in Boston College, and guy was just ripping me apart. And I was like when I started, it was kind of funny, and I was like make some saves on him, but yeah, I mean, really, if you want to bring it down, I like, always like to be myself as like depth, angle, and of course speed, right? And then of course it's taking some time with gear, and of course you need to looser straps. You want to get it, and of course the one thing, of course, in some practice when you train a lot, certain things some days might not be as quick as you want them to be, and then you kind of sit there and you kind of dig in slower, and you just do slower reps. Like okay, as long as I can get there quickly, because sometimes like we run like sometimes you do quicker T pushes there, sometimes you do quicker shuffles, and like sometimes like oh you're like you didn't open up your leg, and you can go like in depth 1,000%, no question about it. You can go like oh we can do this and that better, but I think just to keep it simple as we do a lot together, I think that's really what allows us to understand that we don't have 30 things to work on in practice. We say okay here's 1 to 2 and maybe 3 1/3 small thing, but usually 1 to 2 a day we like to crank out hard, and then if we're feeling good on that, we can maybe throw an extra one, but we just the simple the better, honestly.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I would just say with that, it's just as you know, of course, when you play men's league and eventually when you go to college, you'll understand that the game is really different. And depth and awareness is one thing you'll probably understand angle, but we've been working on that, and that's guess how it starts and how it finishes.
Yeah, we've definitely been going hard on on training this year,
Yeah.
this last part of summer with skating, just
Yeah.
angles
Yeah.
and
I
depth
mean,
as well, and just
yeah.
rebound control especially.
That's the one thing. I mean, for the viewers that don't know, me and Jack, we started connecting, I would say probably end of July-ish. And pretty much we've been working since there on at least 2 to 4 times a week. And definitely, we both got to see our games kind of grow, and definitely him kind of understanding more. I've kind of helped him with more the collegiate level. What are you going to see it this way? What are you going to work in these positions? What is something that's going to help you understand in this position? If the puck comes here, the puck goes there. What do you want to react? And just some smaller things to fine tune his game. Of course, the good players, he can still practice it now, but definitely get them. He's definitely helped me with a couple of things that he's definitely seen in my game. He says, "Oh, if you can do this maybe differently. Oh, if you see this," and then go from there. Yeah, I mean that's the best thing is that you go in there, you kind of know like, okay, every day you're going to be, all right, what we do today, what we do tomorrow. Okay, we do the same routine. Okay, different routine. Okay, we do warm up. We go in there, and then the best part about it, I think, is like the only positive I could say, if any positive during COVID, is probably just the fun and aspect of that. We can say we have a lot of time to train and practice, which is, of course, you can say a double-edged sword, but at least it's time to learn and understand and get the idea for each other. And then you get to kind of see like what's their movements, like what are their habits, and you kind of get to see like, oh, what they like to work on. You kind of push each other, but that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember when, because we're in the group with Mike and everyone
Mm-hmm.
else, Shay, all them, and they've helped us especially. And I remember when you joined the group, and you found out that I was from the Chicago area. You just
Yeah.
messaged me on the side and was like, you want to start training? And then I think we were training the next day.
Yeah, I think within 48 hours, like, you want to come skate? Like, yeah. And then we just kind of built this reaction. Yeah, I got to get Jack. I got to force Jack to start talking a little more. He's a little quiet, but I had to force you to start talking a little bit more compared to now. And you talk all the time. That's perfect. And we can always communicate and understand each other's drill. We vibe off each other. We kind of know like our tendencies, our game styles. How do we play? I was like, we play both, of course, different styles of game, but we can definitely understand that. Okay, in certain situations, and like, I mean, compared to where you probably not too long ago. I mean, you're talking about pretty much a mini summer. I mean, back in early August, compared, we got August, September, almost 3 months in. I mean, definitely. I mean, I think you've known, but definitely with the new gear and the new game, I think you're a lot of things. I think you've improved on. I mean, you probably know better than me, of course, yourself, but you can go off that.
Yeah, just from learning about the college game, like you said, I don't play college right now, but I really do want to in the future, and for
Mm,
my masters, just play college hockey. And, definitely did you definitely teach me about the college game, the mindset you gotta have, especially how much skating is important to the game, and especially
yeah,
as a goal.
yeah. I mean, definitely going in the first season I went last season. Of course, my skating is better now because of all the extra work I've done, but you kind of learn very quickly that you gotta start to understand, even though it was like Division 3, Division 2 level, you kind of just start to understand, okay, mainly in the game, you have to understand, like, some teams try to drain you out, and you kind of have to understand, okay, just to control yourself. And you start off with warm-ups, and you start off with, like, of course we joke about it, you start off with warm-ups, but you kind of have to, every game that you kind of have to keep
Full
it.
lap guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did that once. I burned myself out the first game. I was gassed after the first, and I played decent. I played really good actually that game, and it was rough to come back. I was making saves, but if you watch the video, it was rough. Some of the saves I was making, it was, but compared to now, it was funny. But yeah, I think the best thing you could always compare it to is just, as Mike and many other collegiate guys and the pros probably talk about, is you just want to have a simple plan. And the best thing I think about is like, you want to care, of course, but you don't act like it's no tomorrow every save. The best thing it is, like I always like to say, is just you try to make it as simple as possible. That you just say, really, what I've learned, like especially drills now. Of course, you can do high intensity, like you make 5 saves in 5 seconds, but make one save, make the next, okay, breather. Make one save, makes the next, okay, breather. And especially when, well, we've been training now actually. It's kind of, we do like that first 20 minutes, you kind of do a little burnout, because it kind of simulates you're going mid-second, early third period when your legs aren't 100% anymore compared to the first and midway second. You kind of maybe had a couple penalty kills under your belt, and you're still to get some energy, so you kind of know, okay, you're bagged, and then that's when you repeat yourself and you kind of take a couple deep reps, and all right, you have to bang these reps out good. But the more you do it, I mean, we have minimum 6 to 10 months for you. So by the time that's a whole different goalie, and especially the one thing I've learned these 3 years, like every couple months, it's just like a level in a video game or something. You're just becoming, it's like you're doing upgrades like in a Batman video game or whatever. You're just kind of improving yourself little by little. You're just giving those attributes to yourself. Like, okay. And you can tell over time that once you do those drills, you're quicker off the bat. You're quicker going back to the post. And it's just, I think that's the best thing. I think the success and the fun, it's like sometimes we try going to practice, which is, I think we've all had that. But I've also, that's where you take a little break and you come back and you start having some fun when you try to do new drills. And I think that's the most fun we definitely had, is just having a good time and just learning about ourselves, but definitely pushing yourselves and understanding that it's not always do or die. You have to have some practices where you have fun and just mess around, and you have practices where you go hard. And that's the good thing about balance, especially during COVID now, is, of course, for me, earliest I would go overseas in April. If that doesn't happen in grad school, so it's a lot of time. You know what I mean? That's like 2 summers you got left under training. So you try to think, you can't really compare it to a normal summer, of course, due to these times, but I think, as you know, we really just take it one day at a time on ice, and that's the best way to do it. There's no really need to say, okay, this is what we're going to do from here to January.
It's like a weekly thing.
Yeah, just a weekly thing. Okay, how many days we got on ice? Okay, what we got next week? Okay, what are we going to work on? And boom, perfect. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And like my edge work has definitely gotten a lot better. And like I think you could tell, you could say that for me too. And like the edge work has gotten a lot better from when you first saw me. And like my overall game has definitely changed.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And like it like I really like feel good out there, and just like know that I'm in control of what I can do.
Yeah, you start to. I mean, there's when I started, there's a couple of days. You know what I mean? There's a couple of days where you feel like your lights out, and you can't. Nothing is really gonna get past you. Like 1 in 100 is gonna get past you. Like you feel like big. You feel boxed. You feel like no matter what, the puck is like, the puck's a beach ball. You already know you're there. And there's some days where you kind of have to work a little harder. You have to kind of do a little bit too much, and that's the thing we're working on. We're not really working on what is our best of the best. Of course, we're working on the best, but we're working on what is our best on the off day, and we're trying to figure out our consistencies a little bit and stuff like that. But it's definitely a lot of fun, and I think that's the best thing about learning is right now is just that we get to see our tendencies, and we get to see what our weaknesses are, and then that's where you have time. There's no rush, which is, compared to other seasons, this is the one time where I think maybe time can give us a big benefit, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Like I've improved my game so much, like just from you and just like learning from like your experiences, like everything, like it really has helped me. Have I helped you in any way that improved your
Yeah,
game?
yeah. I think definitely besides mentally kind of keeping me loose, but I think it was also having someone to train with means a lot. I mean, it's definitely it's also because, of course, not to break for hours, but someone to talk to. I mean, I've definitely done a lot of lessons where it's me on the ice, and probably by the last 15 minutes, it's kind of hard to find motivation to keep going when you're the only one and not facing any shots. But when you have someone there, you kind of do the drills. You kind of talk about, we can do this, we can incorporate. Sometimes we do wrap around, and sometimes we do drills. And of course, and it's a good part of just having someone. Of course, you can see things and you can work with me, and then you definitely helped me understand more of the game. Of course, butterfly, and of course, definitely your athleticism has been one thing that I know in your gloves has been something I can't compete with. That's I'm more of a Crawford guy when it comes to the keeping on ice. You're definitely more of a flashy leather guy, but I can't stop that. That's always a good time. I was never that. I mean, I think a couple of times, but no, it's a lot of fun to train with that and build off of that. And I think it's a hell of a duo we got.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the duo right here is like golden, and like I'm always a flashy guy, and like flashy, like I like flashing the leather, and like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember a
no.
few times when we've been training with like I believe Nick, like we've trained with,
Yeah.
and like he'd have like an open net, and I'd just like dive across and like
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
save.
yeah. There's been a lot of times where I've looked and I'm like, well, I mean, like, man, I don't know if I could have done that. Like, definitely, you were definitely where I was probably like last year and stuff. You gain that development under you more. You gain that more solid foundation. Of course, we'll get you with a coach down the road, but at least you have me now that can kind of push you in the right direction and say, And definitely that athleticism and drive is what allows you to kind of be like, the coach can be like, oh, well, we'll get him on the team just because he gives that effort. And trust me, in games like that, there's been a lot of, especially when you get to college, there's a lot of bad bounces. There's a lot of weird bounces you're gonna get, and experience quickly, and you bet. And then those gloves, those saves, that positioning, that being more upright, and helping, of course, with that blocker, and of course with more your stance. I mean, it all adds up. It's just another piece of the puzzle, and it's a long puzzle. It's not anything like a short. It's a long one, but as long as we just improve 1% every day, that's all we can ask for, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just gotta keep improving, like putting those puzzle pieces together, and like it's long, but like it's definitely worth the
Yeah,
process.
yeah, definitely. It's not definitely an overnight. It's not definitely a couple months. It's a lot of things with development. Of course, when you start developing some things, you kind of feel some things go off of strain, but no, it's just time, buddy, and that's what's been the fun part so far.
Yeah, and it's fun that we've been incorporating like the compete games like at the end of like our practices, and like especially when we have skaters, like that's a lot of fun. Like it's definitely
Yeah,
builds like that. You have
yeah.
to dig deep,
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
get that rest.
those are the rough ones. Those are kind of fun at the same time, but it's also a fun time of letting loose. The last 10 minutes, surprised. It's just smiling around with the guys and having fun. Still kind of competing hard though, but you're just having fun, which is the main part. Of course, number one, to have fun. That's what we do. We can always go 10-minute warm up, 40 minutes hard. In the last 10 minutes, you take a break, you go hard still, and that's it, man. It's just you try to keep it as simple
Stop
as possible.
20. I stopped 20 breakaways in a row last time. No big
Yeah,
deal.
that was. I was actually more pissed I didn't get any ice time, honestly, more than that in the last 10 minutes. But yeah, I remember even you made the junior guys want to go hard, and I was like, I was gonna actually tell him like, I want you to score on this guy, like mess with him, like I'm tired of this. And then eventually like one streaks through, like, all right, it's finally about time. But
Well, I
no,
remember when
definitely,
they
yeah,
scored. When they scored, you're like, you can get off the ice now.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's no reason for you to be on. I do my reps in for breakaways. Definitely, that's probably one strong suit that you definitely, as a breakaway guy, you're definitely that's something I've been working on for a while. But you, as a breakaway, that's definitely one of your strongest suits. I definitely seen is you definitely can get the shooter. You definitely got that glove right there, and you're definitely over him, and that's all you can ask for,
Yeah,
honestly. And that's one of the best things to have too.
yeah. Honestly, it really is, and it's just a lot of fun. So like, it makes the process like worth going for, and like, because it's not an
Yeah.
easy process. You just gotta trust the process and like grind it
Yeah. No.
every
No.
day.
Definitely it's not. It's hard. It's hard, and we go from there, and we understand that the process starts from there, and we move forward there. I mean, I'm definitely in college season. My first season of my bell wasn't the best, no question about that. A lot of games I wanted to have back, and a lot of goals that, of course, you want to have back. But being the first season and being collegiate hockey is definitely that's something you can put on your resume at the end of the day and saying, yeah, I went toe to toe with these guys, and it's definitely honestly, I wouldn't have it on the other way. Facing that many shots on a team that we struggled a bit, but we could have done a little better, but we finished all right, I guess, at the end of the day. And it's just it's just at the end of the day when you look back, and of course there's games where you're kind of mad at yourself at the end of the day. You're like, this one went through, this one will fly a ball out. If I was here, if I wasn't so aggressive, you can bash yourself any day. But I think the one thing you learn is you look back and you say, okay, as long as I'm going hard every day, improving. I mean, it's gonna come. It's gonna come, and you're not gonna get better if I play in front of Brett Burns and Duncan Keith. I'm not going to get better by doing that.
Yeah,
I'm going to get 20 shots a game. Okay, have a 9.4 save percent. That's cool, but when stuff hits the fan, what's going to happen when you start getting 40, 50, 60 shots a game? Can you handle it mentally? Can you start understanding? Are you going to be more of a Mike Smith guy that I was a little bit, that kind of regret doing, kind of being that aggressive guy and kind of more settle my game back and looking back and kind of settling it down more of like a Markstrom now, and I kind of just try to be big and take care of that and being quiet. Being quiet, the best thing is just do your job and relax. But there's many things that and the good part is you have me now, which is great to understand that level of goaltending. At least you have an idea and you have the understanding that you don't go in, which is good that I went in raw and fresh. But now at least you have this belt. You have so much experience of guys you learn that you have so much in your back pocket that you can say, oh yeah, this is what he was talking about. This is what Stefan was talking about. This is what Joey was talking about. This is what yeah. And you'll be set. And that's the best part, is that you're just having all these pieces that you can have yourself that you're just storing away in a little lockbox. And then when time comes, everything flourishes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just nice having you to
Mm-hmm.
talk to about, like, since you're in the college game right now, and like it's fun to see. It's good to see get that part of the aspect, and then like the junior guys that have been shooting on us, the college guys, the guy that was supposed to be in the SB this year. Like, it's just you can learn so much from them, and just like even if they're shooting on you, like
Mm-hmm.
just learn so much about like the game, like
Yeah,
how precise you have to be on your angles.
yeah, really, really it is. And the good part about it is it fine tunes you, and that's what I liked about, of course, training with these higher level athletes is you start to understand. You get pushed harder, and you start to understand when you get to start judging yourself. Like, even though you made a save, you off there. You have to work on this end. We have to work on this, and then you start to be your own guy for the mentor. And you don't really need, you have your coach, which is great, and he's right there, but sometimes he kind of challenges you, and he's like, what was wrong there, instead of him stepping, and then you kind of can see how your brain helps with that. I've been so thankful to have Tony by my side and stuff like that, and all the other coaches that I couldn't be thankful for that helped me with this. And then, it's just over time, it's just a reps and understanding what's your game like, how is your warm up, what do you like to do, what makes you you. I mean, it's such a unique position that no two guys are the same, and you can do the same drills, but they're going to react, they're going to think differently, words are going to mean differently to them. But at the end of the day, it's how you work with your partner, and you understand that you guys are there to win. You guys are. I mean, of course, you guys battle with each other to get that main position, but at the end of the day, just to get that win as a team, and you guys are all happy at the end of the day, and that's all that matters. It's kind of just to understand, just to be happy and enjoy the process is something that I think at the end of the day really allows you to be as a person. But it definitely allows you more of as a competitor to understand that it's going to take time, and you've known that more than longer than me because you've played longer. But I think that's been the best part. Been the best part.
Yeah, absolutely. So like let's go into like your mindset really quick. So like you played for
Yeah.
Loyola University of Chicago this year
Mhm.
or last year.
Mhm.
And according to your elite prospects, you played 6 games, and like
Mhm.
you you weren't on like the greatest team, but like you were
Mhm.
on a team playing college. And so like what was like your mindset going into games, and like especially when you get like
Yeah.
40, 50, 60 shots a game?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it was as much as I want to be as positive as I can. It wasn't as hot as I wanted to. I did do some good prep before, um, but looking back at it, I think I honestly was just I was trying to. It took me a while to understand the first couple. I would say first was it was rude awakening for me. It was that you got to be short term memory, and you got to be quick to the bat. And I think the one thing is it's the game's 90% mental. It's really between your ears. You are your biggest enemy, honestly. It's not the other guy. It's not the other guy what he's saying. It's not. It's really not that. It's you between that and understanding. Like, I played better well at the end of the season, and you kind of get to understand that each rep you take, each shot, you just got to take it simple. And being on a team that was a lot more gritty, there's a lot more penalties and stuff like that, and it kind of wears you out. And then it's more of a fatigue game. You're playing with yourself. But looking back at it, it was just taking it simple was something I wish I took. I changed it up. Honestly, I did too much. I started I started to think 3 plays ahead. In reality, it started to kill me. And you have to take it. You have to just trust what you do. And as much as it's going to hurt sometimes, as much as it's going to feel off, as much as it's going to feel different, you just have to do with what feels right in the situation. Either if it's a 2-on-1, you gotta keep that short side. You gotta keep it hard. You gotta respect them. If it's going 3-on-1, if it's going 1-on-0, it's just going back door, guys, short side. I mean, it's definitely understanding that and learning and working on your game that allows you to excel at that level. Absolutely. But definitely, as you mentioned, what was my mindset? It was, of course, win. I wanted that first one so bad, but
Isn't
the
everyone's mindset to win?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was definitely that, yeah. But as you said, yeah, everyone's mindset's to win. But I think for me, it was definitely that first one was something I'm still a bitter taste in my mouth to this day that I regret not having. But working on that now, I think it's more more of a driving force. And I think the mindset, if you can have what I want you to have, is definitely breathe, enjoy the process, and just take it one shot at a time. Slow the game down. Do periods 5 minutes at a time. It's gonna go a lot quicker, and yeah, just breathing more. But understanding that and facing teams like where I've had 78 shots a game where they probably didn't even register the correct amount, honestly. Um, it's definitely a time where I would say it's probably not mental, I would say, of course mental, but the biggest thing that I would say is probably how much you want it. Those games are hard. Those games are hard when you go back in the locker room. It's hard. You're going to beat yourself up. I did. You want to be the best, but I think at the end of the day, one thing that's going to hit when stuff becomes hard, it's like why you chose the position. Remember why. You got to remember why you chose it. Why did you do it? And you learn from that and you learn from your game. And that's where, of course, you can come to now compared to, let's say, last October, November, when my season was almost done, compared now as a goalie. That's a whole different goalie right there. You change a lot over time, especially as a goalie. And I think that's the one thing that allows us to be so adaptable is that when you work hard and you want it, you as I mentioned, you kind of go in that level, that little video game level mindset that you aren't the same guy as you were 3 months ago, and you're a whole different goalie. Exactly how you move, how you talk, everything changes compared to last year. I think the one thing that I think makes the biggest difference is skating. When you're confident more in skating, when you're quick on your feet more, when you're quick getting up from the RVH and getting back out there and understanding your depth, you're a whole different goalie. I mean, as we learned. It's cool to make some cool saves in the butterfly, but it's awesome a lot better when the shot just hits you in the chest and it's an easy save.
Yeah. Yeah, and those are the best kind of saves. Just like when you don't have
Mm-hmm.
to do that much and it just hits you, and you're like, you just cover it up and breathe.
That's it.
Breathing is definitely something that I learned too, and like especially in like a game like yesterday, like it wasn't the greatest game that I had,
Mm-hmm.
but like I still played pretty good, but like it wasn't like my best, but like just like after letting you like last year, like I'd be like completely pissed and be like just like get sort or out of sorts. But like this year, I'd just like be like concentrate on breathing, like especially after a goal, and just breathe a few times, and then just like let it go, just focus on the next puck, and like it definitely does help, and like doesn't get you to be a hothead at all.
Yeah, I was a little hot ahead in my first season in, to be honest. I kind of regret it, but it's a learning experience. But yeah, definitely breathing and understanding that it's just a game, it's the puck, and just forget about it. Just forget about it and go in the next save and take care about that. And then you kind of get that momentum and you kind of get hot again.
Yeah, exactly. Short term memory. That's all that it's about.
Honestly, really, at the end of the day, it's easier said than done, but that's what we work on.
Yeah, exactly. So going on, like we both talk about our future a lot, especially
Mhm.
when we play or when we practice again with each other.
Mhm.
It's like what do you think the future holds for you, and then like for me as well?
For me, oh, that's a great question. People ask me. We talk about it a lot, we joke a lot, but right now it's honestly at this moment, it's looking back to next year international tournament in April. That's the goal. Get my feet wet international play and hopefully get a medal and bring it back home. But if that doesn't work out with COVID or other reasons, then we just look at grad school and keep going there. And we'll stay optimistic for that. And if not, then we just keep training and go for tryouts down the road. But there's definitely a future there. No matter with or without COVID, there's definitely still going to be with us, and eventually COVID thankfully won't be forever. And right now, that's the main goal. His main goal is just taking one step at a time. I haven't even decided on grad school yet. I'm still working one day at a time with my semester this semester. As you know, it's been rough, but I would honestly just say it's just understanding that you want it and have some fun and just smile. And just in a weird way, it's just times are uncertain now. Just enjoy every day on the ice, really, as a future mindset. Of course, to go overseas would be my goal and to get some years under my belt and then maybe get up and go in the SP and then the coast and work my way around there, or maybe go in Russia and go in the K. But honestly, whatever, I just want to be on a team that values me and has some fun,
Yeah.
and that's really it at the
hmm
end of the day. I really don't ask for a lot.
Yeah, that's you
Yeah.
just gotta want a team that values you and like
Hmm.
just have your back in anything. So
Oh no,
that's
absolutely,
a good
absolutely. I know,
feeling.
I know, I know. And then you've talked about your future a lot, and I've definitely been rooting for you. And I know I definitely watched you go in those fat teams next year, and definitely go in the SP and move on from there. And your road's gonna be a little different than mine, but It's not the destination. It's all about
Hey,
the end goal. It's not
everyone's situation is different, so everyone's
exactly.
path is
Yeah.
totally different.
We're all different, but we all just have the same common goal at the end of the day, which is kind of beautiful. And if you kind of think about it, everyone just kind of just comes with it's like just like a tree, and has all those different branches, but at the end of the day, it comes back to that same root. And that's what makes us that's what makes the game and us special. I think it's that you're such a key factor to every team. You're the brick wall, and that it's hard to find a brick wall that you trust and rely on, and that's where we come in.
Yeah, exactly. And just like you said, like next year, like I'm going to these the
Mm-hmm.
Fed tryouts and the Federal Hockey
Mm-hmm.
League. So see how that. So like that's what I'm training for right now, and just to get
Mm-hmm.
better and like see how I could do in the tryouts next year. And then if that doesn't work out, then definitely go to grad school, get my master's, and
Still playing
then
a club team.
play some college hockey there, and then
Mm-hmm.
work on my resume there, and then do the same thing, go for tryouts, and
Go for
work
tryouts.
my way
Exactly.
up. Work your way up
Exactly.
from like from whether it be the Fed, the SB, like the coast, like anywhere. Just work your way up, and like the
Mm-hmm.
stories are gonna be lifetime worth of memories. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be right now. We kind of think about it's a hard time, and me and my coaches and I, and especially with you, we kind of like all kind of keep it. You keep it really a definition of a week at a time, a day at a time. But it's gonna go by quick. I mean, you're looking, it's almost Thanksgiving, Halloween, and then you go boom December. That's semester over, and then before you know it, it's gonna be March, April, and then I'll maybe be overseas. If not, then we're back in summer training, and we're really finally in summer training to kind of. But the good part is we've done so much summer training in these 3 months that we're going to come around. That's going to make the sixth chapter in the training, and we're going to be like, it's ain't our first rodeo. We know exactly what to do to get ready for August. We know the intensity. We know how much we want to train in June. Take it lighter, and we kind of just increase the implements to August, and the game will be there. The game will be there. But definitely one thing I've learned is understanding to take breaks. Taking breaks is definitely one thing is detrimental in your game, and it's necessity. It's really a necessity because if you go 100% of the time, you're going to hate it. You really are.
Yeah,
And it's nice to understand to have fun. It's really and that's really what it comes down to. You got to have fun at these trainings. Of course, not every training will be fun. Not every game will be fun, but when you have those fun times where you can smile and just laugh, it makes it worth it all at the end of the day.
yeah. Honestly, and just like last week, like was our off week, but like we still skate like one to two times that week,
Mm-hmm.
and like we are going hard the like past like what 3, 4, 5 weeks that before that
Yeah, yeah. I
like
mean, next week, yeah, last week was rough for many reasons. Of course, with school and stuff, a lot of things came up. So, but stuff happens, and then you get back in the routine. You go back hard Friday, Sunday. You go back hard Friday, and then come back in this week, Monday, Wednesday, and boom, back on the ice, and you feel all good. You feel all good to go. You just need one ice time to get back in the game shape, and
yeah
the
just
mindset's back.
yeah exactly. You just need that break because like to
Mm-hmm.
refresh you and just like let you like
Yeah,
focus
you
in
need to
on what you
yeah.
want.
Mm-hmm. You need to have that break, as you just mentioned, to focus in, but definitely just writing it down and relaxing from the game, and of course your body, especially, but just just understanding. Of course, you work with DK for his mobility. I've kind of looked at stuff solid, and understanding just time that it's necessity just to understand and work on your game and look back while you love it. You gotta have the best thing I would say is take when you start kind of dreading to go, when it's kind of more of a hassle to get out of bed and stuff like that, then it's time to take a couple of days off, take a week off, and you kind of say, okay. And then when you have that itch to go again, like when you'll go at 3 a.m., that's what brings you back to get that next level of training because you don't want to be plateauing. You kind of want to take a plateau, take a break, and keep going up and just like it's like a staircase. You go up, work, train, go up, train. You're still going up every time. You don't want to be going up and then like such a long period of plateauing. You want to keep that still moving forward, and it's the best part of that we've been learning. But
Yeah,
that's the interesting part of the game is yourself, I guess.
yeah, 100%. It's
Mm-hmm.
like for the last few minutes of this episode, what are
Mm-hmm.
some like tips you'd give younger guys, like guys looking to get to that next level, get to play college like you're doing right now? Like, what are some tips you'd
Yeah,
give them?
it's always weird. It's always when people ask me that because it's like you always expect people from tips of 20 years playing, but I've been playing for like 3. But the one thing I would say is smile, smile. Have fun. Really, just have fun at the game.
Flower says it
Um,
best. Just smile and
yeah,
have fun.
really, really, it's hard. It's hard. You're playing the, if not top three hardest positions in the whole world. I mean, you're what I like to play. I like to say it is playing chess and skating and being like and just doing so many things at once that you have to do so many things at once, and you understand your mind is so much adaptive. And definitely, if I could probably say three tips: one, smile; two, have a notebook. Write your tips, write what you did that day. Always keep progress, even though I've now with college I haven't been his best, but at least like at least to preach it. And third is finding a mentor in a group and just finding someone you want to have a healthy relationship. You have to have competitive. And I think the one thing, as Mike talked about before, is the one thing that's going to separate you from exceeding at the college level is do not compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to the puck. Your job, if someone makes 10 out of 10, you go 6 for 10, that's okay. Your job, as long as you do 6 for 10, 7, 10, and maybe sometimes it goes lower, your job is not to compare to others, especially at trials when people start thinking too much. They're like, oh, I have to do it like this guy. Oh, the coach is looking at me. Oh, I missed that save. Your job is just to stop the puck. That's it. Do not compare yourself to others. Just focus on you, yourself, your gear, and just make those saves. Go back and act like nothing's happening. Just have fun.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's beautifully said. Beauty. So let's end this with something something funny. Like, what's been the best training story with both of us this summer?
Oh, probably I have two. Probably God, I had to be probably in the beginning when we started doing all the math and stuff, and then I was tired that day. We started doing pucks around the boards and definitely put the puck in there, and then my edge just came in. I wiped out so hard first 3 minutes of practice. I'm like, yeah, I really wanted to be sure of the 3 minutes in the practice. That was fun. But my other story had to be when I played Notre Dame. I had to hop the bench. We came in late. I hopped the bench like a player. And first one, top cheese, first one that was no goal, thankfully, straight in the collarbone and made a big save, and still made a lot of saves that game. And just come to the look of the college hockey, you're getting ripped at by the point by a defenseman. And probably the last trending story to finish it up is probably when we all start doing like some crazy edge work drills and we get tired, like, oh, okay, let's go back to these drills. And it's kind of funny just to laugh it off. But I think the best training stories is just what we've been doing is our work in progress and just having fun
Just
throughout it.
having fun.
And that's been the best thing. That's really the best story. Of course, with the shooters and stuff like that, it's always fun. You kind of look back and you kind of get intense in the moment. But at the end of the day, probably the best training story is probably me sitting in the corner for 5 minutes, even though I want to get back in, and then you making 20 saves in in a breakaway. That had to be the best training story I can think of right now, because I was tired, I was ready to go, but I was like, I need one more save before I go, because the guy made 20. At least let me make one before I hop off the ice for the day. But that was the best, I think. That was the best. I think. I don't think I can beat that.
Yeah, that's definitely my best story. Just making 20 saves, making you wait in
Yeah.
in the corner,
Yeah.
just having you vibe by yourself and like.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was nice to come back and refresh for sure, since you gave me like 7 minutes off. But I was thinking for the first 10, you were just messing around. I'm like, God, this guy's actually going serious. Like, and this guy doesn't even look like he's sweating. I'm like, I was like, I suck at shooting. I was like, I need to work on it. Yeah, but no, that was definitely the most fun I can remember. That thing, it was like a couple weeks ago, but that was stupid fun. No,
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's a beauty. So,
mm-hmm.
Stefan, thank you so much for coming on to the show. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time, and I look forward to training with you for the
Absolutely,
next few months.
absolutely. Thank you so much. I'll definitely be in contact. I'm gonna go from there. Okay, my man.
All right. Yeah.
Thank
See.
you, my man.
Yep.
Thank you.